Hey everyone, happy Tuesday. How is everybody doing? I'm here to do a quick unboxing. Now, I know that that's not something that I do very often on this channel, but this is a special deck for me. I've been waiting for this for about a month and I've had my eye on it for even longer. You know what it is because it's in the title. So this is the Arcana Tarot deck. And I've had my eye on this for months and months and months, but it was one of those ones that was more or less out of print unless you wanted to pay like 3 times as much as what you can get it for on from the creator on eBay or something. So I thought I won't bother, but I was really excited when someone posted in the den that it was back. Dead on Paper brought it out again. And yeah, just the packaging, the way that it's been put together is really lovely. Now, I have opened this up and had a quick thumb through, but I've kind of put it all back together, minus all the cellophane, obviously. So hopefully this shouldn't be too painful a process for us to for us to get into. But yeah, I'm going to flip the camera around and we'll take a look together. Right guys, so this is a box that it comes in. Nice size box, not big chunky oversized box or anything, which is always good. When you open it up, I've taken the invoice out of it, but when you open it up, you're met with this lovely black tissue paper. So the presentation, excuse me, is lovely. So let's put that to one side. So let's look and unwrap this. Now, this is a discount code for my next purchase. Annoyingly though, I've just bought something else from Dead on Paper like about an hour before this came in the post, but that's what I get for buying lots of decks. So this is the black tissue paper that it comes in, and then it comes bubble wrapped, which is always good. So it's nice and protected, and it's upside down. And this is the box with this beautiful black and kind of silver and grey embossed kind of box. You know, you can run your finger over it and feel the kind of ridges and stuff. It's really nice kind of papery type stuff as well. So Tarot Playing Cards, and it says here quad est superius est sicut quad est inferius. So I'll need to look up what that means. I probably should have done that before I did this. Open it up, and it's this beautiful kind of blue, metallic blue effect on the inside. And then of course we've got the cards. So the cards have got this kind of, they've got a linen finish, so they have, but they've got this kind of varnish finish that gives it quite a, it's almost like an oily feel, but it's not a bad thing, it's a nice thing. So we've got, so these are like extra cards, so we've got a 2-sided death card here, and I think, yeah, both these death cards are different. I don't know if you can see, but then on this side we've got like this kind of stuff going on. Oh, and there's no people in this one, whether there's people in this one. So Arcana, a Dead on Paper project. So Dead on Paper is the company that that have made this deck. And then we start with the deck itself. Now I'm going to do a quick flip through. Let me just. Yeah, so we go through the minors, like the playing card aspect. So we've got the minors, excuse me, and I believe, yeah, so the jacks in this and the knights, so it's added in the pages as the extra cards, and they're there. So we get these 2 jokers, which are pretty cool. So they're another kind of 2 extra cards, if you will, and then we've got the majors, runs through the majors, and then we have these other 2 extra cards at the back, Isn't that funny how it's all the spades that have flown off? So yeah, this is just a double-sided card back. So this is the card backs. And this is just a double-sided black card back, and then we've got like another double-sided card back, but this is the kind of, so there's a white edition and the black edition. This is the black edition that I've got, but this is the back for the white edition, I believe. Goodness me. So these are all the extra cards. That's all the extra cards aside. So let's take a quick flip through of the you know, the tarot deck itself. So let's just see. Aye. So we're zoomed in a bit, that's a bit better. Okay. So we've got the Fool. Got the Magician. The High Priestess. The smell of these cards is amazing. The Empress. The Emperor. Oops. See the backs are the double side. The Hierophant. Really kind of Rider-Waite-Smith feel to these majors. The Lovers. Chariot. It's interesting here in this Chariot, we see the horses kind of going off in other directions. The Chariot, as I understand it, is about, you know, learning to negotiate that process. You know, you start off with your horses pointing in different directions. In the process of the Chariot, the lesson of the Chariot is to, you know, use your strength of mind, your willpower to get them pointing in the same direction and driving your Chariot forward. That's the kind of, you know, that's the point in the Chariot. Strength. The Hermit. I love the kind of light and dark effect that you get there. The colours really nice. Wheel of Fortune. Justice. The Hanged Man. Death. Temperance. It's interesting here that so usually when we see temperance pouring from one cup to another, it's almost like the water is levitating across space to get into the second cup, you know. Whereas here she's very much just kind of pouring it from one cup into another. Devil. The Tower. Apologies if you're hearing traffic outside. There's a main road outside this room, so there is, so hopefully we don't get any boy racers driving down past, because this is, people like to race down this bit, so they do. I don't know why, because there's signs up everywhere saying that the police will monitor the area and stop people that are driving too fast, but hey ho. I digress. The Star. The Moon. This moon's lovely. It's not that I have anything against moons that have, you know, faces in the moon cards where there's a face in the moon, but I do really enjoy like an authentic looking moon, you know. And this one's really nice. These cards are really slippery. And this is another deck where you can really see, oops, you can really like make out which is the, you know, the domesticated dog and which is the wild one. Really nice. The sun. I think that's a phoenix in the sun, isn't it? Stunning. Judgment. And the world. So is she on land? Is she dancing on land? Let's move a bit closer and see. No, she is in the sky, isn't she? See the clouds about her. So those are the majors. I'll move a wee bit faster through the, you know, the pips themselves, but obviously just the aces and the courts are also really stunning in this deck. This is the spades. Now you've got you can see the kind of the ace of spades there, but you've also got the sword, you know, for the ace of swords, and then the symbology at the sides. We've got the spade here, but we'll get the sword here, so it kind of nods to both. And the higher number pips, you still have the symbolism, you know, the sword and the spade, but it's just the, you know, it's more of a kind of standard. This deck's particularly nice because obviously the colours are switched, you know, it's black background and white pips, which, you know, just adds a wee something special, I think. Oops. I'll get there. So we've got the page, jack is like the knight, although I do have playing card tarot decks such as the Playing Marseille, where the knights, you know, the jacks are the pages and the knights have been added in, you know, so it's interesting. The Queen of Swords. It's always nice when we get a Queen of Swords that hasn't got a major resting bitch face, isn't it? Because Queen of Swords is really a stunning card, and it's just nice when we see her kind of represent, when we see that softer side to her. You know, she can still kick ass when she needs to, but she doesn't need to be a total bitch to do so, you know. Then we've got the King of Swords. Okay. And then we're on to the diamonds or pentacles. I just realised I've been saying swords all the way through that, and really I should be saying spades. Look at the imagery here where you've got the garden, and absolutely stunning. Page of Diamonds, a Jack, a Knight. He's got his helmet on there. He's, I suppose, the most careful, cautious of all the Jacks or all the Knights. Is the Jack of Diamonds. The amazing Queen of Diamonds sitting in her garden. Quite literally in her element. And the King of Diamonds with his pentacle. So I think this is quite typical of playing card decks. Excuse my arm. The switch. I hope that's not going to bother anyone. So we're going to go from King down to Ace for the next two suits. So we get the King of Clubs. This beautiful lion there. Queen of Clubs. Or sunflowers. Just confident, proud. Jack of Clubs. Interesting, you don't quite get the same, you know, high energy that you normally get with the Knight of Wands. Usually the horse is up on two legs and it really screams action at you, but you get a bit of a calmer message off this card, I think. Page of Clubs. I always think the Page of Clubs or the Page of Wands, in a lot of decks he looks kind of older than what you would expect him to look in comparison to the rest of his family. Oops. Stunning Ace of Clubs. Get the fire energy off it. Okay, so that leaves us with the Hearts or Cups. So we've got our King of Hearts, and I think his throne is kind of in the middle of the sea. The Queen of Hearts. What is going on with her? She's kind of reclined right back in her seat there, isn't she? I almost hesitate to say this because I know there's a lot of people that identify with the Queen of Cups, but she almost looks maybe a tad lazy, just in her posture. I mean, says me, that's exactly how I sit a lot of the time, but you just don't normally kind of see that side to the Queen of Cups. You've got the Jack. And the Page. And then down through the last of the pips. And the stunning Ace of Cups. You've got this dove here, which, you know, can have connotations of love and partnership, but also of spirituality. You know, in Catholicism, I'm sure the dove is a symbol of the Holy Spirit. And the cups, of course, is, you know, it is a suit that that looks at those aspects. You know, it's about all connections, not just our connections to each other, but our connections to, you know, divinity and spirit, and the, you know, the world, nature. Okay, so let's have a wee look at how they shuffle, and we'll do a wee interview spread with it. I don't think I'm going to try and bridge them, to be honest with you. I think I'll send them flying everywhere. They are a wee bit stiff for riffling, but I think that they'll probably loosen up just as I use them. To be honest, it's probably a lot of it's to do with the size of them. Because there's, you know, 78. And you know, I like to do a fair few riffles before, whoops, you know, before I read them up. I need to know that the cards are properly randomised, otherwise I'll just be distracted during the reading. When I riffle, I kind of change directions, you know, so I'll riffle them face down, then I'll riffle them face up, and that's basically just because I don't want them getting really, really bent in one direction. So yeah, I figure if I do it each way, then there's less a chance of that happening. They're quite slippery. It's this kind of varnish coating on them. Right. Let's just see how we're doing with regards to randomising them. Yeah, that looks alright, doesn't it? See, riffling works. Oops. Now, if I'm going to want to do a spread here for you guys, yeah, I'm going to actually want to zoom back out, so bear with me a wee second, this might shake a wee bit. So I'm going to do my usual interview spread that I always do with my new decks that I get. It's basically just my way of kind of almost like having a conversation with the deck, just to understand a wee bit more about it. Just, I suppose, just a way of saying hello, isn't it? Okie dokie. Doesn't really want to cut, so that's fine, we won't cut it. Okay, so the first card is tell me about yourself. So we've got the Seven of Spades, so that's interesting. Sevens, you know, they can be quite disruptive. The reason for that is because you're coming from this place of like strong stability. And we're in spades here, so we're in the mind. We're in a mental space rather than an emotional space. You know, you're coming from this place of stability, you know, this happy place, and then you're being asked to kind of take it further, to kind of come out of your comfort zone that you're kind of quite happily established in. So, I mean, I suppose for me, I'm not really that, I'm more used to dealing with tarot cards, and even if they're not, you know, they're not all scenic, you know, the playing card pips, differ quite starkly from the, you know, your Marseille pips, which is what I'm used to using. So I suppose it is going to push me out of my comfort zone intellectually. But with all sevens, you know, there's a chance for disruption, but there's also, you know, if you can push past that, there's an opportunity to grow. And that's the nice thing about the sevens. So it's this kind of, you know, this opportunity for growth and for furthering yourself and for personal development. Next card is about the deck's strengths. Oh, and we've got the Queen of Wands. Now that's good to know. So Queen of Wands is like the celebrity. For me, it's like this Queen of Wands, Queen of Clubs, same difference. It's kind of like the celebrity of the tarot world, you know. Very outgoing, very good at kind of dealing with, you know, crowds. And anytime the Queen of Wands opens her mouth to say something, everyone shuts up. Everyone looks her way. Everyone wants to know what she's got to say. So it's nice to know that that is kind of a strong attribute that this deck has. And it's nice to know that it's going to be confident if, say, for example, I'm using it during, you know, YouTube lives and whatnot. So yeah, really kind of turning towards the sun. You know, you've got that balance of fire and water, so she can really stand the heat of a crowd because she's got that kind of water element, that water aspect to her that just kind of balances off that fire. The next card is limitations and perhaps weaknesses. So this is maybe what the deck isn't so keen on dealing with. Okay, right, we've got the High Priestess. So quite an outgoing deck, but maybe not the, you know, not the best for going really deep, really within, really kind of, you know, if this is, if I'm going to want to be looking deep into myself and asking really meaningful, deep, kind of difficult questions, maybe this isn't the best deck for that. You know, if the High Priestess is a bit of a weakness point, you know, maybe it's a showy, flashy deck and not so much about kind of going real deep. The next one is, what are you here to teach me? Look at the Ten of Diamonds. Okay. So we're in this place of kind of fully realised from a, you know, in our element of earth, fully realised from a material point of view. The Ten of Diamonds brings real kind of stability in our material worlds, you know. We're feeling safe, we're feeling happy, we're in our comfort zone. So it's nice to see that although it is, you know, it's going to push me out of the 4, we're getting a 10 as a reward, you know. And I've just realised that that is kind of sticking slightly out of the picture. Apologies for that, guys. There we go. I was just using these to kind of keep my place, you know, so I knew where I was. Yeah, so although it's, you know, intellectually it's going to push me out of my comfort zone, we're getting this 10, we're getting this kind of fully realisation. We're basically reaping the rewards of kind of, you know, pushing ourselves with the 7. We're getting the kind of the stability of the 10 back, which is nice. Next one is, how can I best, you know, collaborate and work with this deck? And that's the 4 of Spades. So, I mean, I think just, sure, but I mean, it's interesting because normally when I interview decks, 9 times out of 10, the card that I get here is saying, you need to work with me and work with me relentlessly, you know, you really need to kind of spend a lot of time. Whereas that's not the feeling that I get here, you know. The 4 of Spades is about, you know, stabilising yourself mentally by taking a break, taking a bit of a rest, know when to stop for a bit, when to kind of you know, replenish your energy. And I think that's going to be important, you know. If I am going to be using this, which as far as pips are concerned, it's a playing card deck, I'm going to have to take some time away from it and perhaps use some of the tarot systems that I'm more kind of comfortable and familiar with. So it's interesting that I'm seeing that there, you know. By all means, I'm the Queen of Wands. I don't want to be put in a box and just left there forever. Like, I like to be out in the limelight and, you know, have all eyes on me. But, you know, it's important that we also kind of take a rest from each other as well. And don't feel like I'm the only tarot deck that you need to use, you know. Make sure that you do replenish your kind of intellectual energy. And the last card is, what is the outcome of a relationship together? So we'll get the Six of Spades. Okay, that's an interesting one, I guess. There's quite a lot of spades cards here. So really kind of pushing on the kind of intellectual space. No cups cards, which is interesting, because that's where we really see kind of, you know, connections to the unconscious and whatnot, and the things that we normally associate with a divination deck. So the Six of Spades is all about finding harmony from a difficult place. So again, I mean, we're looking at this 7, and you're thinking, right, it's, you know, it's going to be maybe a bit of an uphill struggle at first, but it's nice to see that we have the 6 coming through there, you know. But it's going to be worth the, you know, the difficulty. It's going to be worth the fight. We're going to kind of find the balance after all, type thing. Another thing that we can associate with the Six of Spades is, you know, it's good for when, you know, if we're not in a good headspace, and we need to kind of readjust, you know, we need to take some time to just spend some time on ourselves, our own self-care. You know, I've heard people referring to the Six of Spades as the kind of therapy card, the go-to therapy card type thing. Whether that's literally or figuratively, you know, is really up to the situation. But yeah, interesting. So yeah, that's us, guys. That is the Arcana goodness me, Arcana Tarot Playing Cards. And this is obviously the black edition, and I've got the white one on its way. So that should be here in about another month, I think. But thank you very much for tuning in and for watching this. It's great to talk to you as always. I love to read cards with you. So thank you very much for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed this. Let me know if you've got this, how you're finding it. And if you've got any kind of hints, tips, recommendations or anything like that, then please do get in touch. But until next time, I love you and leave you. Take care, and thank you very much. Bye bye.